Hello there, Qckslvrslash, and today I have a game of my own in the tier 10 French battleship, the Republique, though she doesn't quite look that way because I did splurge and buy this space camo. It was one of my favorites, and as I didn't have a camo for her, I just bit the bullet, I did it, and I haven't felt bad about it once because I love the sounds, I love the look, and honestly, I think it can make the ship a little bit harder. If you haven't seen it before and you've got them turned on, at least maybe this is just me, I know, particularly the Zao, I have a hard time hitting those Zaos running around in the space camo. And I think it's just the vision of the waterline is a little broken up by all the different pods and stuff on it, so it gives me a hard time at least dialing them in. But that's neither here nor there. You can see I'm playing alongside a couple clanmates, got Star Wars Lego and Lovesock, and right off the bat we decide we're heading south to sea. You can get dragged into a trap in this map of trying to go for A. There is a time and place for it, and if I had spawned up near A, being in the Republique, I would say that is a time and place because you can just run through the cap. But if you get holed up there or stopped, it is going to cost you. Now you can see off the bat, I'm pretty much angling straight in. I'm trying to close the range a bit here because I know once I start to get focused, I'm gonna want to turn away and just kite and kind of show, you know, a quarter view of my stern, really just make myself harder to hit. So to do that, I initially have to close. Because if you start at the back and you try to kite away from the back the second you get shot at, well, you drag yourself out of range right away. Now, I take an opening volley at a curve first and don't do a lot. One overpen, that's not what I was looking for. Normally GKs eat quite a lot of damage from the Republique. I find 10 to 15k pretty standard firing at them. Now, I do have one broadside on, but seeing this Henry down here, I decide that's the ship I want to focus. I don't want the Henry getting around on our flank at all, but I think my aim was a little off. RNG didn't grace me too much. Only one shell hits for decent damage, 4,000, but would have loved a Citadel there. And we've already lost a ship, and if you look at the enemy team, they're pretty much moving straight south as well. You got one Montana up in the north, and we've got a Qckslvrslash up there, which isn't a great matchup, and things already just, they're not feeling great. You can see Lovesock and Star Wars up there in the cap. Star Wars being a good DD, he used his smoke to try to protect us, and it's helping. You can see I'm able to fire more or less concealed here. Maybe not actually. Maybe I just went dark because of reload. But the person who can definitely take advantage of this is Lovesock. He's able to just sit in that smoke and work his guns. And that's one of the big reasons playing a division is so powerful, is you can look out for one another, but you really need to be playing ships that complement each other. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you have a cruiser that is going to really benefit from being able to kind of be protected in a smoke, bring a ship that can smoke them. First volley on the Donskoy there, landing exactly where I wanted it. Got the Citadel. The second one, not looking so good. One penetration, no damage. But with the Republique, the guns are already reloaded. The Donskoy grounded, and I thought she was going to have to back up to get off there, but it looks like just grinding forward and being persistent is all it's going to take. So second volley goes in the front, and once again, not a lot of damage out of that. But either way, this Donskoy is a goner. You can see Star Wars Torps in the water there, about to finish him off. So we're doing a little better now. We've got one of their ships, though we have now lost another one of our cruisers, and I don't hold a lot of hope for the Qckslvrslash up north. The Qckslvrslash, it can do a ton of damage if it can sit in its smoke and farm and you've got people spotting for you. That is something it cannot do if you do not have people with you. So going up there alone, just not a super smart play, and you know, the Benson went and took the cap and is coming down. Our Harakaze here probably in a good deal of trouble, and you can see the enemy team has managed to take a lot of the map. What I'm actively trying to do here, I want to kind of cut under sea, start getting some sides, and there is the kind of hit I'm used to on a curve first. 16k, just solid chunk of damage, no citadels, don't find you get those too often, but the Republique can definitely lay damage down on BBs with its AP. You don't have to rely on the HE a whole lot, which is a funny thing because later in this game I am going to really lean on some high explosive to help me deal with some targets. But it comes down to using ammo at the right time. You know, I've got a lot of targets showing a lot of side to me here, so take advantage of that. And I'm not sure what I was looking at there. It seems like I came back to earth, and well, got a Cleveland side on 14k. I really want to kill that Cleveland, and I do a great chunk of damage. 1 citadel, 2 overpens. That definitely helps remove him, and that's exactly why I like using the AP. If I can find the ships that are showing me their side, I can do a lot of damage to them. A couple more volleys out, and you can see I've been forced to run, but I do manage to finish the Cleveland off. I hit that repair party because I'm going to need every hit point I can get, and I need to start moving back north. My idea of getting under them down on this flank worked to a point. You know, I got the Cleveland, but their Iowa's not really moving. He's kind of just sitting there bowing, which isn't giving me the opportunity to really start getting under them. So seeing that, I decide I've got to get going back north. Their GKs, their Montana, they're all kind of coalescing mid-map. That's where my guns need to be, and down here at the bottom, I've taken myself out. Thankfully, the Republique is a very quick ship. You know, with that speed boost, you can reposition very fast and get to where you need to be to make your guns matter. And you know, Lovesock, Star Wars, they kind of recognize this too. We're gonna be in for a bit of a fight here. There's really no way we're gonna get A in this map. Like, our Harakaze could go up there and take it, but then we lose our destroyer, and well, we lost the Harakaze anyways. So the way we're gonna have to claw this win back is a good old-fashioned fistfight. We've got to just focus down targets and take them out. And you can see I switched to HE there. I would just been sitting bow in for so long that I thought that's what they were going to continue to do, so I fired. But I'm going to keep it loaded because I've got this GK at range and a couple of them pushing in. My goal here is to kind of light a fire and really help Lovesock start to burn these ships down. Sadly, none of the shells hit. And the enemy team's playing pretty smart. I don't know what that enemy Monty is doing up at the north in the map. He hasn't been spotted in some time. And, well, this isn't good for me. Some torpedoes coming in. Hopefully I can duck them. Really, I should have seen them earlier. And, well, we just lost to Missouri, and thankfully the torpedoes run out. It was looking like I'd found a hole, but we'll never know. And with this GK kind of just sitting here, I just keep trying to land shots on him. And by just going slow, he's dodging them. That was a bit of dispersion, shells landing high and low, but it's amazing how hard it can be sometimes to hit the ships that are going partial speed. You're so dialed in for the guys going full speed that when you're like, okay, that guy's just creeping along, you know, if I just aim at his bow, it should hit him. And sometimes it does, but when a ship's going slow, it's able to accelerate from like 1/4 to 3/4 very quickly, and then 3/4 to full is a lot slower. So being at those slower speeds really allows even battleships to jockey a little better. And with that Kerfer's bow in and having just eaten a torp, now is a time to lay on the HE. So far, I've pretty much only been firing AP, 113,000 damage in. It's time to put the high explosive to work, try to light some fires, get some damage down. And it looks like I've got a bit of a UI bug, because I'm healing health right now, but my repair party is already off cooldown. I'm guessing it just showed its cooldown wrong. I don't know. I've never seen that before in the replay system, so that is completely new to me. Anyways, after lighting one fire on the curve first, I switch back to AP. I don't see a ton of point in trying to really slather him up with a whole ton of fires, because, well, he's got one burning, less likely to put one out. So I swapped back to AP, see if, you know, maybe he's going to turn, but he's really not. He's put himself into reverse and is slowly just trying to back away from this fight. And that never really works in battleships. You're far better off to just make the turn, show your broadside for the one volley, take your kind of beating, and get out of there as quickly as you can, which is definitely not in reverse. Put a fire out, I light two more. And looking at him with two fires on, you can see I'm like, there's another GK up here. Might as well shoot him. Let, you know, the tick damage go down. As good as it is to remove ships from battles, we've got a 1-kill lead. We're not too far behind on points, so starting to work down another target. And at this point, Star Wars thought he had torpedoes, I think. I can't remember if it was this volley or another, but GK does not really moving anywhere. Keeps throwing all of us off. He damage controlled. I put another volley in the air, and there is another fire, which means he's going to be spotted again because that increases the detection range. You can see he is trying to heal through this, but now's the time to really start removing targets. And I put one shell at each, and I swapped to AP. And the reason I do that, Dire Slayer here is showing me a lot of side. I pick up Witherer, which I think is the first time I've ever done that in this ship. Get the kill on the other GK, and well, now it's time to see if I can't finish their other tier 10 BB off. And the shells go out, but someone else is going to get it. In this case, our GK's secondaries. No worries, we're really doing quite well. We don't have the caps, but we were never really going to be able to get them back just because of where the enemy team went. So removing them as quickly as possible was really the best bet. Now I go to make a shot on the Henry here, and I could have sworn in game I switched targets, but perhaps I didn't. Either way, I'm gonna miss. Me and that Henry just not having any luck. So I just continue north, and I'm really looking to get some of the side of this Monty. He's got to turn bow into our battleships to the south, so if I can get to his north, I'm gonna be able to do that work. Now we've lost another ship, and this is kind of how this game's been going. We might get a kill, we then lose one, and it's back and forth, but patience is paying off. Keeping our range, and you can see Star Wars and Lovesock down in the south. Star Wars is smoked Lovesock in, so he's able to just sit there and do work. He's drawing a lot of attention from the enemy team, and has allowed and slowed them up and kind of balled them up in a way that's allowing the rest of us to pick them off one at a time. And this Monty got a fire on her. She's showing broadside. This is a time for AP. Volley goes out. Come on. Big hit. Definitely happy with that. 12,000. Pick up Confederate. And, well, look at her just get worked down. Those Bismarck secondaries, or not Bismarck, GK secondaries pummeling into her. And, well, seeing the Henry on low health getting away, I decide, okay, I'm going to take a shot at her. The Monty, she should be dead. But, once again, I don't think I managed to really do much to that Henry. Lovesock's fire, finishing him off, and now this game is in the bag. It's going to be really hard for us to lose at this point. And there's that enemy Montana. He started the game off going up, getting the Kutuzov, and just never really got back in the fight. And showing up this late with this much health doesn't do a whole lot of good for him. Pretty obvious. I'm going to get into B right now. That's the best way to help the team. They are still ahead, but if we take the cap, then we win on points as well. So it really does reassure this. And you can see the Hipper charging in at Star Wars. Star Wars doing everything he can to fight back. Lovesock firing over his shoulder. Pretty much the whole team helping out. Take out the Hipper. Star Wars should live here, and that leaves just the Montana to farm. And interestingly enough, without really realizing it, this is my highest damage tier 10 game ever. I've cracked the 200 mark semi-regularly, but I've never managed to break 300 in any game. I find I just don't quite get there. And this is going to be another one where that's true. I keep trying to work this Montana. I'm up to 270. You know, I'm putting good damage out, and I'm going to get some more, but never enough to crack the 300. I think I finished this one at 287, which still super happy about because it was a big game, and really early on I thought this one was gonna quickly turn into a loss. You just see ships positioning in a way, teammates dying in certain places, you get worried, and we lost a cruiser very early. We lost our destroyers pretty early on. You can see Star Wars ended up fading, but he kept himself in the game long enough to really help out. And arguably the person he helped out most was Lovesock. He was able to do work in that Zao, and the Zao really can lay the damage down if it has the opportunities to do so. And when you look at him, Sock's on really good health, and that's because he had a teammate willing to support him. And I'm not going to be the one to finish this off. As I said, pretty sure I finished with 287,000 damage. Shells are in the air. I'm hoping for a kill here, but it's not going to be me who gets them. It's our GK secondaries again. Now, while this was the highest damage game I've ever had at 287, I wouldn't say it's the best game. I would put the Des Moines game I had a while back ahead of this one, simply because damage isn't really the best measure of a great game. I think I had a good one here, picked up a couple kills, got Wither, Confederate, High Caliber, Dreadnought, and Fireproof. Good chunk of credits and XP, but the reality was I just kept alive and kept shooting the targets I had, and a lot of this health did come from a pair of Qckslvrslash. Now, I did light a number of fires, but interestingly, my damage is pretty much evenly split between AP and the HE combined with the fires they lit. And I think that is important. If you're leaning too much or one on the other, you're probably leaving damage on the table. So a mix is important, and you can see as a div where we finished. Now Star Wars is a little further down, but that's because he was doing what destroyers need to do, which is support and smoke, which sadly doesn't give you the XP. And there you can see the damage split between HE, AP, and the fires, and about half my damage comes from AP, the other half from the fires in HE. And I felt pretty good about that, because at one point I felt I was really using a lot of HE as I was playing that game, but it was a couple Bow and Qckslvrslash who kept damage controlling, so it made sense to do. End of the day, took home just over 350,000 credits, just shy of 8,000 XP, and a fun game where I set a new personal damage record. I'm hoping I can crack the 300k mark at some point, but it's not all that I'm interested in. I like to win games, and I'll do what I have to do to win a battle over just what gets me the most damage. Anyways, I hope everyone liked this. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. And as always, I am Qckslvrslash. I'll have another one for you all later.